Hi, everybody. As promised, here's a video. I wanted to show you some projects from the last class I taught, just to kind of give you some ideas about what people are doing, just different ones. And Robert, he was such a great student. So anyway, this is a guy named Robert Lucero, and he did his on the old reserve pits on Native American land. And it was such a great project. I gotta remember to send this to Ashley. These are he used a drone and the Google Earth maps to do his project. So keep that in mind that, he worked off Google Earth map, and I've seen some great artists I can show you guys later down the line. In fact, I'll put it in the modules that have used Google Maps to create their whole project. So he has this, but he also has this drone going on. And that's what I think a lot of these images are from his drone. Let's look at, we'll have to read his thing. I love the designs of these. So it's such a great project. He did a really good job, but let's see, I gotta remember if he, and look how he talks about his inspiration for his project. Oh yeah, so he did, this was his drone. He's been flying a drone over some areas by chance. He found an all reserve. So this is all his drone, and he actually told me which drone he has, and I'm gonna get me one too, because this is the best project. So I wish I could find a way to, I've downloaded it. I need to ask him though, but here it is. This, again, this is using a drone, and he's telling me when he's not using it. So that was pretty amazing. Isn't that amazing? Great project. So that's Robert Lucero's. And then this one is a lady named Erin Furlow. And she did her project about a neighborhood in DC that was gentrified. I can't even pronounce that word very well. And so she wanted to talk about how it was and how it is, basically. And see, she's talking about there's been a lot of development. The historic district has affected Black neighborhoods. And she wanted to explore the changes within these neighborhoods and compare them to what they were originally. So she used an archival and geological librarians and the resources found at the county archives. So see, her agency that she worked with was a county. And she used a page, and she actually included her journal in some of these. She had a great journal. I'm going to show you that too. But there's these images where she started compositing, like this one has a map composited in it. This is great how I'll show you her journal quickly, but that's a journal page right there of hers that she included. And see how she has it composited, that portrait in there. And she worked on this, through crits and stuff. She got a lot of good feedback and created an awesome project. I'm going to just skip over because I'm going to show you. So you really had to look. There's a composite right there to find her composites, which I loved. See, and there's a one of a church. Let's get that one. It's so good. Yeah, look at this one. Isn't that just great? So see how she did, and look, there's a person walking up, and that's real. And then she has all these other people coming out the door. It's so good. So that's one example of a really great project. Here's her journal. So she just turned it in. This is the end. So she turned it in, a step at a time, which is fun. So there you go. So that's really a great journal and a great project both. Now let's go on into the assignments, because there's some other ones in here that are. Here's a Skylar's journal. She did hers on hers. It wasn't as intricate as some of them that I liked, but still she did it. So, and I don't remember, of course I don't remember how I graded people, but the point was to get it done. And she did that. So that's another way. And her artist statement. Is this her project? Yeah, she did a climate crisis project. But I wanted to show you guys one that was unusual. Oh, Tori's. This girl, she came so far. Here's her journal. And she did these major composites. And in her journal, she kind of kept us up with that. There she is. So let's see let me see if I can find her project actually. Leaves came together. He worked so hard on his. And you know, some students, their project didn't turn out as great, but they put so much effort in it. I gave them a very good grade because I could watch them all along the semester doing their effort. You know, here's a climate change one that's interesting. He was using fire and burning some of these images to talk about the climate crisis. It's really interesting work. See how he did that right there? So I just love this one too. And then let's look at, here's his journal. He used a blog for his journal. Or no, I guess it was a PDF. There's her. I was going to see if we can see. Oh yeah, I did show his. Let's open his real quick. His was good too. He was talking about the streets in his city. And he ended up using a picture within a picture to talk about these potholes that were just in his neighborhood, that, you know, where the streets weren't being taken care of. He's a real activist. He's been in a couple of classes. All of his projects have been really interesting. So this is a really, see how the different ways he was using these photographs? And this is all in his area. It's such a great, again, making a difference. Here's his artist statement down here. And in hopes of creating awareness of the issue in the city of Nogales. So he did a very good job. So that's another really good one. And I was trying to find the painter one, because I don't want you to feel like you have, oh, this girl made a lesson plan because she was an art education student. So she did a really in-depth lesson plan, which was really good. So that was another idea that she had. This is the one who did, this guy was a graphic designer. He really wasn't this is the journal. No, this is the PDF. I wanted to see if this was the one that he, so he was focusing on the Navajo Nation and climate change, but that's not right. Well, this is another good one, but I thought it was a different guy that did something in graphic design. So those are some examples. And let me see if here, let me show you another. This guy, he worked with an agency and it was really hard to get everything done he had to in his project, but he came up with some great pictures. He was talking about the problems of homelessness and he tried to work with the shelter and everything. He really gave it his all, but he ended up still doing a really good project. So there you go. There's a few projects. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I'm going to just quickly now, as long as we're here, let me just go ahead and go in. I want to go ahead and go in and just go over module 2 real quick since I'm here. try to, oopsie. So, oh, here we go. Okay. We're going to go in here. All right, so module 2 is not going to be a lot, excuse me, this week. We're going to be talking about mental illness, autism, learning differences. And so basically, let's look at the overview, the to-do list. There's a YouTube overview, but I'm giving you another one. I mean, that's one I did last semester, which is probably accurate, but you're getting another one. So contribute to your daily journal, complete the required readings and other learning materials, participate in Slack, do your discussion questions, upload 5 new images towards your project for crit, pick 5 different peers and critique the work. This is telling to use the crit channel, but I want to try to use the assignments channel. I'll fix that. Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, I'm sorry to be wishy-washy. Let's go ahead. I'm going to invite you guys to the crit channel. Let's just go ahead and do these crits in a crit channel. I'll get that done here in just a minute, along with an announcement explaining everything, okay? And continue to work on your research project. I just think you're going to just turn in the names of the people you critiqued in your assignments channel and go ahead and do your crit in your crit channel, okay? And like I said, I will send out an email to that effect. All right, so these are your readings. All right, and your, it's not required that you read this, but it's a great book. Do your art and activism book and the next few chapters in STAMP, those are required. And here's your discussion questions. Make a picture that speaks to the oppression as a feeling or a reality. Think outside the box and try not to be too literal. Talk about your image and how it speaks to your feelings rather than your thoughts about the idea of oppression and what it means to you. Also, what does the idea of ownership and personal power mean to you? So, and these are great guest speakers that we had in the fall that I didn't take off, but we're going to have Liz Allen, for our Tea Talk this week. And so that when she's going to be talking about her cousin's suicide and the art she made around it, but as importantly, she's going to be talking about how to create a powerful portfolio, because Liz is a curator and she managed the Northlight Gallery at ASU for 22 years. So she knows her stuff. So she'll be with us on that. These are videos that are worth watching. Not a lot this week because I want you to start working your projects. And so here's our Tea Talk. This is a Tea Talk with Jessie. I'm going to move, actually, I'm going to put this into our Tea Talk channel, I think, or somewhere so that you can access it. But this was last semester. It's still worth looking at. But we'll have another one, and I will be editing this Zoom link, but I will leave a video somewhere where you can watch it. Okay, and here's your critique assignments. So it's saying upload 5 images regarding your project. And remember, they don't have to be the images that you're going to use. They just need to be 5 images to show you're working on your project. And look at the others, and you're going to talk about concept, aesthetic, and the technical work. All that stuff is stuff you want to add in your critique. So basically, your critique should have 3 little areas. It's not like you have to write a book, but you should write a paragraph. All right, and do your journal checkpoint. Turn it in, and by the 29th. All right, so hopefully that is going to give you guys everything you need to keep going. Please let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, remember what I said about the crit stuff? I'm going to activate that channel today, send out an announcement. In my email with this video, I'll talk about that. Okay? All right, you guys. Take care. Thanks for your patience. See you soon. Bye.